First of all, I think that the fact that we still like the mainstream still refers to this day as Columbus Day undermines a history of the native people of this land that were just driven out of their land or their native lands, and just placed in reservations, completely dehumanized in the process of just expansion of this country, from sea to shining sea. And I think we need to be conscious of that. I think if we're actually talking about creating a democratic space, we need occupying San Diego. We need to acknowledge that San Diego has been occupied. It was occupied, centuries ago by European settlers who just decided to push the indigenous out of this land. I think that we have to address issues such as class, such as race, gender, and sex in order to create a more richly democratic movement. If we decide to ignore these kind of issues, we might as well not do anything, because these issues are a consequence, stem from our socioeconomic conditions. They're not independent of it. They're completely attached to it, and the racism and sexism, homophobia, Islamophobia that we experience nowadays, they are partly mechanisms of the 1% to keep us divided, ideological mechanisms, and we need to be conscious of this. We need to be conscious that we have to bring these discussions. We need to create spaces for these discussions, and just endeavor to just educate ourselves on the history that we weren't taught in high schools, like the history of class struggle, our history, it's something that has been completely decontextualized from the mainstream academia, and I think this is like the space to make such a thing happen. Okay, well, in 1492, on October 12, Christopher Columbus was basically credited with discovering, quote unquote, discovering the American continent. I don't know how he discovered it, because there was already people living here, but somehow they teach us at schools that he discovered it, and it was like a glorious day, because the doors to the new hemisphere had been opened to civilization, and I would say that the doors for this continent were open for exploitation, were open for the pillage of our natural resources, and were open for just class conscious group to just exploit every inch of land, every inch of labor that this land had to offer for them to profit, and that's basically our history, a history that has been ignored, a history that needs to re-emerge in order for us to create a conscious class, in order for us to create a conscious majority, a conscious 99% that is able to put forth demands that have in consideration issues such as race, such as sex, and because I say sex and gender because it's not just indigenous peoples being discriminated. It's a whole section of the population being just pitched against each other, to divide and conquer us. And we see that transgender people and the LGBT community, are also being discriminated as part of this system's agenda. And we also see that the undocumented immigrant community is being targeted, and it's being alienized by our system, by our socioeconomic system, when it was people that have already been here for centuries. We didn't cross the border crossed us, and we have to acknowledge that, and we have to be able to fight and challenge a system that's pitching us against each other, that's just trying to divide and conquer us. We need to become conscious of these matters and discuss about them, and just reach an agreement on how we can unite all the sections of the working class to bring about a revolution, which is what I believe this system, this movement, it's like the ultimate goal. It's if we don't reach the point where we have taken this to a revolution, I think we haven't done nothing yet. Okay, so this could be considered a victory symbolically, but until our socioeconomic conditions remain the same, we haven't won anything.